All right, hello, my name is John Majewski, and I will be presenting cyber risks and modern crime security measures. Okay, so what is cyber risk? It basically boils down to the potential loss that an entity faces over getting hacked into, getting the system breached, any sort of loss that can occur from a device. And then we have cybersecurity, which is any defensive measure put in place to prevent an attack. So some background cyber information. So where is cybersecurity right now? Where's it headed? So there's about 800,000 employed with 350,000 positions to fill. To put that in perspective, in 2015, there were only 200,000 jobs within the field, about a 400 to 500% increase. There's going to be a high job projection. It's a good field to get into. It pays well. IT is starting to become more of a security defense mechanism sort of position. You need to have some sort of background or a class trained in how to protect data. So they're considered to be part of the cybersecurity field. What are some of the effects of the attacks? Right now, it's one of the main weapons in warfare. Warfare is starting to become less combative and more information based. It costs the world about $6 trillion a year globally. So obviously, again, a huge market. About 22 attacks on businesses per year. That's just the average. A lot of those attacks are from phishing emails or morale issues, like just leaving passwords on sticky notes or clicking hyperlinks that shouldn't be clicked, forwarding information that shouldn't be forwarded. And we'll go to the next slide here. All right, so what can the average person do to protect their data? The biggest one here is probably passwords, making sure we're using strong passwords across multiple different sites, not using the same passwords. About 55% of the people that get breached or attacked don't even end up changing their passwords, sort of a scary statistic. We have secure home internet, making sure that you have an established secure connection. It's a lot harder to intercept data when it's secured. This is why people get their data stolen all the time at like Starbucks or McDonald's when they're on the Wi-Fi. For VPNs, it's sort of a niche thing, but if you want to take it to the next level, it sends your data, overseas or a couple states over, and just makes it harder to intercept that data. And then, a big one, learning about phishing emails, knowing what a phishing email looks like, seeing the spelling errors, never clicking on hyperlinks through emails, through text, through Facebook, Instagram. This is going to help prevent yourself from getting in any sort of trouble. IRS and the bank will never ask you for your personal information, your social security, anything like that. Okay, on the other hand, we have what can businesses do to protect themselves? Minimizing moral and morale risks, keeping data away from employees that they don't need to see, keeping all the data compartmentalized. For instance, if you're working in accounting, they don't need to see, sales emails. Morale risks would be, again, strong passwords, not leaving passwords on sticky notes, simple stuff like that. A lot of the stuff doubles with the individual, how they protect themselves. So having secure networks, having a strong software, that's very important. Making sure that software is updated, has firewalls. Again, compartmentalization is very big in preventing data from being leaked. And if data does happen to be leaked or breached, have backup systems in place. This is more for when the attack does happen. But if you're a big company, a big business, you can't afford to be out even if it's just for a minute or two. And then there's endpoints, which is just company issued devices that make it very difficult to have an attack or a breach from the device of an employee. All right, and lastly, we have the future of cybersecurity and cyber risk. On the risk side, we have certainly an increase in frequency of attacks. Over the last 5 or 6 years, it's been about a 200% increase of attacks. We can only expect to see the same kind of trends going upward. There's going to be new kinds of attacks. Mostly the ones we're worried about are on personal health. For example, like pacemakers and insulin regulators are now starting to become connected to internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and just like any other device, any other software, it can be hacked into if it's on an unsecured network. On the other hand, though, we have cybersecurity, huge improvements. Defense contractors, it's a big market now. The riddance of passwords, they figured since these passwords are the reason we're getting hacked into, just get rid of them. Face ID, finger scanners, AI systems, which can pretty much just code on the spot and cover up patches in the software. Any kind of holes, it's going to be trying to find them. And then blockchain security, which is more decompartmentalization and spreading out the data as far as you can go, having a lot of checks and balances just along the way in the software itself.